Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Woollentwine Fiber Studio Knitting Podcast. My name is Jule, and I'm the dye and maker behind Woollentwine Fiber Studio, which is a small creative space located here in northern Germany, where I play with botanical dyes and natural yarns. Welcome back to a new episode, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you here on this little corner of the internet that I'm trying to entertain with my content. um, but today marks the kind of last launch episode of this year, which is very exciting because I have a feeling that 2024 has passed so quickly. I don't know, it felt everything felt at a pretty fast pace. I don't know. But this should not be a podcast about reminiscing about my year, but rather a little preview of everything that I've prepared over the past couple of weeks for a last update of my shop in 2024. So for those of you who are new here, I like to record episodes to show everything that I've been working on botanically dyeing wise and yarn wise. And for this episode we have even a little special because we are hosting our very first kind of virtual winter market, Yule-market, if you will, with products that are not only yarn. So that's very exciting. But I'm going to share more about this later in this episode. But first of all, I wanted to give you a little overview of how things are going to be. Because if you've been along for a while, I usually don't update the shop in December, which, it's because I have a lot of international customers from overseas, and I kind of never knew how to navigate doing like a proper festive update because I never knew how it would work with shipping and stuff. But this year I decided to, do things a little bit differently because I always have a lot of ideas all around the festive season, and I kind of didn't want to let them all go to waste. And so I decided to have a December update this year for the first time. And I also, like, to accommodate for the shipping topic for my overseas customers, I have worked on a solution for that. But I'm going to tell you more about in an admin section later. But yeah, this is going to be our first December update, and I promise I have a lot of festive specials for this one. And it's also the last update of the year, so in the admin section later I will let you know everything about holiday shipping times and everything. So it's the 2nd of Advent as we're celebrating here in Germany. That's why I lit 2 of my candles here and try to get really cozy to introduce you to all the specials that we've been working on for the past weeks. If I sound a bit nasal or weird, that is because I have been nursing a pretty nasty cold over the past 2 weeks, or like 1.5, and I'm mostly back on track, but my voice is still a bit weird, and at least I have it back again because it was actually gone for a while. So I'm happy that I can talk again, but my nose is still a bit stuffed, so if I sound a bit weird, that's why, but it's gonna be fine. Anyhow, without further ado, let me give you a quick overview on what we'll have available in this update. So as an overview, we decided to restock a couple of favorite bases for this shop update, just so you can, have a good variety from what to choose. But it's still a rather small update. That is because the November update and festive winter box update is not very long ago, and there was not a lot of time to dye a big collection in the meantime. So this one is a bit smaller, but in addition, we have the so-called yulemarket with a lot of festive treats that I'll also show to you later in this video. But yeah, the collection is rather small, and we will focus on 2 of our standard bases, one of them being ovis sock, our sock yarn that is non-superwash and plastic free. And then we'll also have a restock of our BFL romney base, which currently is almost completely sold out in the shop. So I'm happy to bring back a couple of new shades. And you know, with sock yarn, I always feel it's a good thing to have for the holidays. I don't know, I usually cast on a pair of socks during the holidays, so let's see if I can do the tradition this year again. Um, but yeah, I definitely need some more pairs also for my partner, so might need to get some cast-ons going for the holidays. But yeah, that's also why I wanted to give you the opportunity to choose from a couple of sock shades. Yeah, and additionally to that, we'll have a lot of festive things and treats that I'll introduce to you later in this video. There will be timestamps so you can jump from section to section, and there will be an info page with all the stuff, what will be available, prices, all these things will be available, and I will link that one down below, just so you can reference it and check everything, because there will be a lot of info, I guess. So without further ado, let me start showing you some colorways. All right, first I want to share with you what colorways we prepared on our ovis sock base. As said, a completely non-superwash and plastic-free sock yarn that's only made from wool, with a slightly higher twist so you can have more durability in it. All the info about the bases that I'm talking about is also on my base page that I have linked down below, just so you can reference meterage, needle sizes, anything there again. But without further ado, let me share some colorways with you, and I'll start out with maybe the most festive colorway that we'll have in the lineup, and this one is Cranberry, and it is a true festive, if you celebrate Christmas kind of red, that I think is just so pretty and very festive. So this one is Cranberry, and I love it. So definitely very festive. Another one that I actually think is quite seasonal, and that has made its first appearance this fall, is Pumpkin, and this one is more like a reddish rust, but a very red rust. So this is Pumpkin. Also seems to be a big favorite of yours. It always goes pretty quickly when I restock, so I can't blame it because it's actually quite nice. I do like it too. So that's Pumpkin. And same goes for another one of our kind of classics, and this one is Auburn, which is like a dark reddish brown. So this one is Auburn. And next up we will have another classic. I'm trying to give like more of the classic shades in this update because we only had a few to dye, and so I thought it would be nice to have some classics, and then we have some festive specials, so don't worry. But this one is Oxalis, and it's like a deep purpley burgundy, if you will. Trying to get the most accurate shade depiction here, but yeah. This one is Oxalis. A very festive colorway as well. Very elegant, I feel. Then next up we have the colorway Cardamom, and this is the colorway that we are currently having, that was designed for our mystery knit along that is currently running with me and my friend Joanna Huddy, who made the design for the mystery knit along, and this is the original colorway. So this is Cardamom, a warm orangey brown. And by the way, if you still want to join the knit along, you're more than welcome. The second clue was just sent out last Friday, but I think if you have a lot of knitting time, then you should be easily able to catch up. So yeah, if you're still up for a little bit of mystery knitting fun, you can sign up via buying the pattern through my shop, and then you will be sent the clues that have been released so far, so you can also start on later. So yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. It's not a race. We're all here to have this cozy, relaxed knit along. So if you're up for a fun little challenge, you can do so. And if you're unsure, and are not really up for the complete mystery thingy, you can check out Jona's Instagram profile. And I think it's also, because I'm a collaborator on the post, it should also be on my feed. You can check some spoiler videos of the first 2 clues. So yeah, just in case you're not really into the mystery thing, but want to check if it's your thing. This is the cardamom colorway, and this was the original colorway that we designed for this knit along. Last but not least, of the solids, we have Dahlia, which is pinkish undertoned, but also like kind of reddish tone. Something between a red and an orange and a pink. Very festive as well, I feel. Shows a bit more orange on camera, but maybe if I put the cranberry next to it, you can see that it's a bit more also pinkish in undertone. So yeah, this one is Dahlia. And next up we have some really fun specials in the ovis category. So we have 3 multicolors, and I know that you're always really excited whenever I do these, so I hope you're gonna love them as much as I do. I think they're quite fun. But yeah, let me just start showing them to you. This one's the first one, and this one is called mulled wine. And it's a lot of reds, purples, burgundies, and yeah, these kind of reddish tones. Hence the name. It kind of reminds me of some mulled wine, which is a very popular thing here in Germany. And actually right around the corner of the studio there's like a Christmas winter market kind of thingy has opened, and whenever I go to take public transport to go home, yeah, I smell a lot of mulled wine. And to be fair, I only like the homemade one, and you know, the one that you can get at Christmas markets, not really my thing. Anyhow, this is the inspiration behind this colorway. I think it's very fun. Next up we have mince pie, which is also kind of reddish in undertone, but more warm and with more browns and yellows instead of purpley tones. So in comparison, here is mulled wine. So yeah, mince pie is more of like warmish undertoned baked goods, crispy inspiration behind this one. So yeah, that's that one. And then we have one last one that's called Winter Lights. And this is a beautiful pastel with some orange, purple, and greenish flecks, but everything is more subtle and more like pastel-y, kind of. But I love how the soft shades kind of transition into each other. I think it's very pretty. So yeah, this is Winter Light. And these are all 3 together. So yeah, I hope you like them as much as I do. They are always quite special because they're not necessarily very easy to make and take a bit longer. But I kind of felt like it would be fun to have. For example, if you want to knit in a vanilla sock over the holidays because it's just too busy and too many people and all that, then I think it's very nice to have a multicolored yarn because you can just go for a vanilla sock and it's still kind of exciting to knit. I don't know. That was kind of my thought behind it. But last but not least, we have another special on ovis. And I really like this one. We made some double sock sets. So 100 gram skein and 2 20-gram minis that you can use to knit colorwork socks, for example. And these are all inspired by like traditional festive, at least what we use here, spices. So this one is clove, and it's a warm beige full skein, then kind of like a reddish undertone mini and a warm golden brown mini. So more of for the neutrals, neutral loving people over here. So this one is clove. Next up we have ginger, and this one is, you know, kind of like our ginger colorway. inspired by warm tones, and has this deep rust reddish mini, and the more beigey one, and then the kind of rusty orange apricot main skein. So this one is ginger. And last we have nutmeg with a reddish undertoned brown main skein, a peach colored mini, and a golden yellow mini. So this one is nutmeg. And yes, they all come tied with these little linen ties. And they make beautiful socks, I think. I think they might also be a very great option for the just newly released tuba socks pattern by Ronja Hakalehto, who designed this pattern originally for our festive winter box. But a lot of y'all have asked for combinations to knit this with, so I think the sock sets would work really well because most of them, yeah, they have very complementary colors that would work really well with the tuba socks. And yeah, maybe this one is a bit more of a low contrast version, though I think it could still work. And the other ones are slightly more high contrast, so yeah, depending on if you're up for it. It's definitely a very lovely pattern, and I'm thinking of making a neutral version for my partner actually, because yeah, I think it's also a very, I like that it's a very unisex pattern to me, and I think, yeah, it's also very fun. For me, it was one of those one more row patterns. It was really fun to knit, so I kind of want to make another pair. And yeah, these are the 3 sock sets. I hope you love them. They were a lot of fun to make. But again, because I have to hand wind my minis, I don't get them pre-made by my mills. It's a bit labor intensive, so I don't do them too often. But you know, it's time for the holidays, and I wanted to make some specials. Lastly, in our little ovis sock lineup, we will have a special that I can share because it's going to be mystery. We are going to have some mystery mini skein bundles with 3 mini skeins each, and they have 20 grams per mini skein, so that's about, I think, 80 something, no, 70 something meters. And yeah, there will be 3 minis per bundle, and you won't know the colorways, hence the little mystery effect. And I think it's a fun little surprise for the festive season. But it's a nice kind of way to give back and have a little fun thing available in our overstock base. So yeah, those will be available as well. Can't share them, but they will be nicely packaged and they will look beautiful. You can trust me on that. So yeah, I guess that's everything for this space. All right, let me continue with the next section, and that is our BFL romney base, which is kind of a very versatile sweater and accessory yarn, and we have this one available in 2 yarn weights, so a fingering weight version of 400 meters per 100 grams and a DK weight version of 240 meters per 100 grams. All info is also in the base page below. I'll show all the colorways on the DK weight version, and then they will also be available in the 4-ply weight version, but just so it's a bit easier this way. I'll continue showing you the shades. We also made a couple of complementary shades so they could be worked into a color work. However, they also really work well on their own, I believe. So without further ado, let me start with our colorway Fawn, which is a light orangey beige, if you will. Here it looks quite cool to color. A nice and warm shade that makes a great base for some of the other shades if you want to use it in the color work. Speaking of, I think this would be very good with it. It's a pumpkin on BFL Romney DK, and also the 4-ply version, so our saturated rusty brown that I think would be very nice with the fawn colorway. So these two would make it great if you wanted to match clothes Then next up we have camellia, which is a kind of saturated but still muted pink with a warm undertone. This one is camellia. Next up, we also have our festive colorway cranberry, which is this glorious true red. That also, I don't know if it's relevant to you, but it is to me, so I'm sharing it. It's not dyed with bugs, so it has not been used like cochineal or any kind of bug-based color pigment has not been used in this one because, yeah, I don't really enjoy doing that. I prefer using plant dyes only. So this is cranberry. Next up, we have this one, and this one is called oak moss. It's like a soft light green, kind of like a, this would be my interpretation of like a Christmassy green, but you know, in the more muted way. I like these kind of more modern light greens a lot. And I think it would still be very like festive if you combine it with cranberry. Very, very nice. Ooh, and then you could also add this one, which is auburn. So you also saw it on ovis sock before. It's like a dark reddish brown. Next up, we have two complementary shades for color work that I find very good to use for color work. So this one is almond, more like a warm beige. So it's warm undertones. Then we have sand, which is more of a beige but with less of a warm undertone. So here you can see them side by side. Maybe it gives a better idea. So this one is almond and this one is sand. They work really well with all kinds of the shades for a color work. I think you can really combine a lot of shades with them. And then lastly, we have kind of the more saturated interpretation of those two. This one is maroon. And it's like a warm reddish brown. And then we have bark, which is more of a neutral, more chocolatey, less red brown. Here you can see side by side. Maybe that helps a bit better to understand the hues. But yeah, this one is maroon and then this one is bark. So yes, I guess that is, oh no, one more thing. Almost forgot to share that we are also restocking the undyed shade of BFA Romney. So this one is the most neutral. Has a beige undertone, but it's still like a silvery undertone. Let me share them side by side with the neutral. So this one is the undyed. And in the middle we have sand and then almond on the other side, just so you can have an idea of how they play together. So yeah, that's everything on the BFL Romney base. And next up, let me share some more things that we'll have available. So for the next section of the podcast, I wanted to share our little Christmas festive special with you. And I hope you're going to love it as much as I do. As said, we are going to have products in the shop for the first time that are not necessarily directly related to knitting. And, you know, I kind of have a feeling that here there is a big tradition of Christmas markets or winter markets, if you will, where you can buy a lot of handmade products. And I kind of wanted to bring this spirit that we kind of really like here. I wanted to bring that out to the world, and I wanted to team up with other makers who would be, you know, the perfect fit for me in terms of sustainability and, you know, values of the businesses. And I also thought that it's a nice opportunity to support small businesses in this time of the year where overconsumption and, shopping goes out of hand sometimes. So I kind of thought it'd be nice to have a little curated selection of products that would feel very special, that are sustainably produced, and that would be, a good, like, sustainable alternative to like mass buying, and have, just promote the concept of conscious buying, and at the same time supporting small businesses that I genuinely love myself. And so I thought it's a good opportunity to do that. And I'm super, super happy with how everything turned out. Some of the products are made by me or friends, and some of the products are from other small businesses. So it's kind of an array of things, and I hope there's going to be something for everyone. Um, I will sum up all the info about the products and prices and all that on the info page that I'm linking down below, just because I feel it would be a bit much to share. But yeah, everything here has been curated very carefully by me over the past couple of months, and I hope that the selection will make you just as happy as it makes me, like looking at all the things that are here. I'm just super happy. And I just want to encourage you that if you would like to have a gift for someone or for yourself, these products might be the right thing. There's something for everyone and for different budgets. That's what I also try to achieve, because I know that my yarn is not necessarily accessible for everyone. So yeah, by offering these products, I hope that there's also going to be an opportunity to shop for some gifts and have thoughtful presents for your loved ones. So without further ado, let me share some of the products with you. First of all, I want to start out with the products that I made or made with friends. And then I'm going to transition to the other products. So the first thing is a very special project to me, because I worked on this with my dear friend Viola of Fun Flowers, who grows her own cut flowers sustainably in her garden, and also has a background in natural dyeing. And a couple of years ago, we got to meet over our shared passion for natural dyes. And some of you might have seen her. And, if you follow me, you have seen us dye indigo together, because she has a wonderful setup for big indigo dyeing sessions. But yeah, we kind of wanted to make a project together for this Christmas market, and we decided to make a sustainable option for gift wrapping. So this product is inspired by the Japanese technique of furoshiki binding or tying, where gifts are wrapped in fabric pieces that can be reused pretty much indefinitely. So we made little bundles. I think they turned out so cute. We made little bundles of botanically dyed fabrics from organic cotton that we dyed together with plant dyes for you to use for your sustainable gift wrapping. There will be 2 different sets in 2 different kind of color schemes. And there's this one, which is more of the pastel-y kind of one. Don't worry, I'm going to show the colors individually. But there's going to be a muted pastel one, and then there's going to be a slightly more bold one that I hope there's something for everyone. So let me share the colors with you. So the bold one has a pink and like a gold, and then a light pink to finish, just so there's like a variety. Let me try to hold them all up. So this one is the kind of bold set. Each of these little fabric gift wraps is 40 times 40 centimeters, so more of like for smaller gift wrapping, but I hope it's gonna be nice anyways. And then we have the more muted set, which consists of, let me try to hold them up, a soft mauve rosy type, then another muted old rose type of pink, and a light warm beige. So that one is the muted set. And this project is so special to me because, you know, having a shared passion and working on something like this together with a friend is extremely rewarding. And I also believe that this gives us the opportunity to, promote our values of sustainability when it comes to gift wrapping and gifting in general. So I think this was just so extremely rewarding to work on and, spend quality time with my friend and make these super cute little bundles. They are rather limited and we didn't make a ton of them just because it's also very labor intensive to, remove all the little fuzzy bits and iron them all. So not only the dyeing, but also the finishing takes some time. But speaking of finishing, you might see here that they have raw edges. And that is because if you put, if you seam them or something on the sewing machine, it's harder to tie them. And so it's a bit easier to maneuver the ties and actually wrapping your gifts into it if there is not a stiff seam on the outside. So yeah, they have raw edges, and Viola also very kindly offered a little instruction on how to tie a traditional one type of furoshiki tying. So that will also be there. I will share a link to that document so you can check the instructions on it. And yeah, I just hope you love them as much as I do. Like seeing the little stack is just very satisfying, I think. I don't know if it's visible, but I think it's just, they look so cute stacked up. When I was ironing them, I was so happy. So yeah. For some sustainable gift wrapping, they can be reused indefinitely. And if you have to wash them, we have some little washing instructions on the little label here, and the only thing to really make sure is not to use bleach and not to wash them too hot if you want them to stay beautiful for a long time. Anyhow, those are our gift wraps. Let me jump to the next product. The next product is also inspired by sustainability and low waste living, and some of you might have seen that I used a wool wadding or wool stuffing in the November collection for a kit so you could fill your ornaments. And that one was mill waste that I get from some of my mills that is part of the wool that cannot be spun. It kind of falls out because there are too short fibers or whatever, they cannot be spun. And we decided to use up this waste and make little dryer balls. I think they are just really cute. So these are kind of low waste dryer balls or no waste dryer balls. And it's very nice that we found a purpose to use the fiber for. So they come in a set of 3, and I will put them into these little linen bags with my logo on it. So you can store them nicely, and they also make a nice gift for someone who might be conscious about their footprint on Earth, because this is definitely a very sustainable product, I would say. Using something that would otherwise go to waste. Quite nice, I think. So yeah, they are made from undyed wool, and they are felted, so they will not bleed off any dye in the dryer or anything. And you could use them for as traditional dryer balls. They each have about 20 to 25 grams, so they are more on the smaller side, and that is also because I think they should not only be used for dryer balls, but they can you can add some drops of essential oils to them and store them in your drawers or your wherever you store your woolens, and they will keep moths at bay. So that's also a great option to use them for. But yeah, these are the little dryer balls. A set of 3 coming in the little linen bags. Hope you're gonna love them as much as I do. So for the next products, I have not made these. I bought these or got these from other small makers and collaborated with them. But they are also all sourced sustainably. And without further ado, let me start. The next section is ceramics. And I teamed up with a potter from the UK called Charlotte Manser. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name, but I'm making sure to link everything below. And she made these beautiful cappuccino mugs in a warm beigey tone. And they are so beautiful. They are huge. Like the opening is huge. And I think they are just perfect for like curling up on the couch and having a big warm beverage in them. They are so beautiful. They have a handle and they just feel so nice when you have them in your hands. They are just very well made and yeah, made from stoneware and glazed in this beautiful warm beigey color that I'm trying to depict well here. But yeah, these are some of the beautiful mugs. And yeah, I love the shape. They are just very easy to use and yeah, I really, really like them. And in the same glaze combination, Charlotte also made some beautiful candle holders that I absolutely love. They are just very simple and minimalistic, which is what I like, especially with decoration. I like to go a bit more simple. But yeah, these are the candle holders, and I think they are so pretty. And they work with a standard 2 centimeter to 2.5 centimeter candle. So yeah, that's how they work and that's their size. So these are the ceramics, and I guess without jumping too far, I can show you what we also have in case you don't have the matching candles at home. We sourced some natural beeswax candles to go with them. So these are also very beautiful, hand-pulled, handmade beeswax candles without any artificial additives, only natural beeswax. And you don't even want to know how amazing my studio smells right now. I love the scent of beeswax. And it's just, yeah, wonderful. So you can maybe see that I really like beeswax candles. But yeah, just so I can show to you, I have a prototype here. So I can show that these fit super well with the candle holders. So yeah, this is how they work. And we also got some of them in other styles, just in case you're not into the big ones. We have spirally, like twisted ones that I think are also very pretty. And maybe if you wanted something a little more special for a dinner table, these are perfect. And I love them. Just for size comparison, they are about the same size as the standard ones. And lastly, we got some small ones, because I feel this size is extremely hard to get. And if you have one of those small, like sometimes you have these type of decorational things for fall candles with very small candles, and I think it's very hard to come by natural small candles. So I was really happy to see that I could source some for you. So yeah, just in case you need something smaller for size, let me put the size comparison here. We also have the small ones. So yeah, these are natural beeswax candles, handmade in the UK, and I'm so happy with them. They smell incredible, and I only have a handful of them, so they are extremely special. And if you want to get them, I would suggest to be quick, because they are just very, very special. Speaking of candles, I have one product that I unfortunately can't show you live because we had a little bit of a delivery delay. They are only coming tomorrow, but I had to record the video today, so it's a bit late. But I'm going to put the product pictures from the company that made these here, and these are beautiful handmade candle crackers from the Botanical Candle Co. And I worked with them for our festive winter boxes, and I absolutely love their sense for quality. Every candle is hand poured and only scented with natural oils. And all of their packaging and everything is just extremely special and beautiful. And I think, yeah, not only do they meet my values, but they also just they just have beautiful aesthetics, and I just love them. So yeah, we are going to have a handful of their candle crackers. Each cracker has 3 small scented candles, inspired by different like winter lights. It's very, very lovely, and it's more of like a fresh, welcoming scent family. But yeah, they are going to be available as well. They are so beautiful, I'm telling you. So I think these make a great gift for someone that you really like and that you just want to give a cozy self-care moment to. Um, they might not necessarily only be for knitters, so definitely also for your non-knitting friends, but they are very high quality and very beautiful, I think. So far about those. Let me jump to the next product. So I feel like we're losing the light a little bit, so I hope it's going to stay for a little bit longer. But the next products that I have for you are more in like the food and drink category. And since we have the beautiful mugs from Charlotte Manza, I wanted to also add something to put into them. And one of the products that we'll have are hot chocolates from Mellow in Copenhagen. And Mellow, like I'm fussy with chocolate because I also don't agree with a lot of like in the making process, what happens in the making process and how humans are treated. But Mellow is different, and Mellow actually takes care of everything in the making process. They are ecologically certified. I don't know how it's called like internationally, but yeah, they have certification, and they actually can like they know the origin of each bean, so it's like single origin cocoa sourcing, which is also the most sustainable way to source cocoa in my eyes. And they make like true hot chocolates, not these kind of 90% sugar and then a little bit of aroma in it. It's like a true hot chocolate, and these are the best hot chocolates that I have tried ever. And I've tried a lot of also organic ones and stuff, but these actually taste like chocolate and not like sweet stuff. They are not like, they are sweetened, they have sugar in it, they are not sugar free, but it's not a lot, and it really like, it's more to support the cocoa flavor of the chocolate, and it's just, it's wonderful. So this one is their classic blend, and we will have this one as well as the gingerbread one, and this one is slightly spiced with like typical gingerbread spices, and I'm telling you, it's so good. I've tried all of them. They are almost empty at our home, despite being like a very generous batch of like hot chocolate. So they are really good. Like trust me, you have to try them. I love them. And also, what I should say is that they cannot be made cold. They can only be made hot because it's true, like real chocolate in there and not just powdery stuff. So you can only have them hot. But they are absolutely wonderful. And yeah, they also have instructions on there on how to make the perfect hot chocolate with this product. So I 100% recommend and absolutely love their products. So these will also be available. And we'll have another kind of drink product, and those are teas made by a local crafter, Sophia of Herb, and she makes these teas from like mostly local herbs, and she focuses on like the true healing properties of herbs. So all of these teas are organic, 100% organic, and completely free of any like caffeine or something. So you can drink them at all times, and they just focus on the natural properties of the herbs collected and selected for the tea blends. And what's also really cool that Sophia is located really close to my studio actually. So to get these, I went, I didn't have to get them shipped, so I could pick them up. So that's really cool. And we will have 3 of Sophia's handmade tea blends in different kind of taste and property regions. So one of them is slow and still. This one has chamomile. Which else does she have in this one? So it's chamomile, rose petals, lavender, and it's more like a calming blend. It's kind of herbal and not as like minty fresh herbal, but more like a mild herbal type of blend. Very calming, lovely before you go to sleep. Speaking of sleep, we also have one that's called Sleepy Chai. And this one is with some chai spices and, you know, cardamom, and it's like very calming and very good before you sleep. So it's also wonderful. And yeah, this is the Sleepy Chai blend. You can also drink this one with your favorite type of milk or milk alternative. And then we have cold call, and this one actually comes in handy currently because my partner's also sick and I just had a really bad cold. So this one was very good for that. It's more like a minty herbal type of herbal tea that has a lot of mint and eucalyptus tones to it, which is lovely and very good for when you have a cold. I think there's also sage in this one. It's not, oh it is, yeah, there's also sage in this one, so it's very like calming for your throat and helps with anything that might be flying around at this time of year. So this is the cold call blend, and yeah, they are all very, very carefully packaged, all organic and just very lovely, and picked up by hand by me. So no transportation, wherever we can save on something like that. I love it. So I think we're getting to the last product slowly. One of them being a very sweet decor pot again. And these are handmade tree or like gifting tags, ornaments. They are handmade in Finland from wood. And they come in this set of 4 little wooden houses, and I think they are just so cute. This one is the big one. So yeah, different sizes, and you can hang them on your, if you celebrate Christmas, or you can have it on your Christmas tree, or you can hang it onto presents. It's still kind of like neutral. I didn't want it to be too Christmassy, but yeah, these are so cute, and I think they also make a great like stocking filling project or product. And we have them in this natural shade. Then we have them, let me try to kind of hold them up here. We have them in this red. It's also quite cute, I feel. And for those of you who like a bit more of a modern twist to things, we also have them in a black. I think they are really sweet. And we only have a few units of them, so yeah, might be good to be fast for these. So yeah, these are handmade in Finland, as said, from natural wood, which I also really like, and I really like the handle of them because they're quite light but still feel quite like high quality. Next up, we have something that I find extremely useful for knitters alike, knitters and non-knitters alike. And these are some notebooks from Kinshipped, which is a beautiful stationery store in the UK. And I'm so happy that I was able to get my hands on these because they actually stopped shipping to the EU currently because of the new regulations that are coming up. And yeah, so I'm so happy that I got a few of those. They are super well made. They have this very sturdy outer cover from like paper, and then They have the inside, and the paper is really like silky soft, and it has these dotted pages, like very subtly dotted, and they are just wonderful. Like the quality is outstanding, and I think they will be used very much for all of my ideas that are coming to my head. I'm a huge notebook person. I just love to use them, and I think these are just so elegant. Both this one is the grid one, and this one is the gingham type one. Just love them, and I love gingham, as you can maybe see from my dress. Speaking of gingham, we're getting close to the finish line, I promise. But speaking of gingham, we also have a fabric product over here, and I think they are just wonderful. These were, I think, the first thing I sourced for the market, and I could not be happier with them. But we got some hand-sewn linen bento bags. They are so beautiful, and you can, like, the way they work is that they have this beautiful inner lining as well, and they are quite spacious. And then you take the two ends and you actually tie them, and then you can carry them around. And I think, like, what they are traditionally used for is to like, they are from a Japanese tradition of taking lunch to work with these. But I think what they are actually really good for is if you have a basket at home for your knitting and you put them in there, and because they stay open quite easily, and then you can, if you want to take your knitting, you can just tie them and take them as a project bag. And I think that's just so, like, that's how I use them, to be honest. Or what you can also do is you can put loaves of bread inside. That's also how I use mine. I love bento bags, and I use them a lot because you can also put them over your wrist and technically carry your knitting around. And these are just so well made. Like, they have double layering, so they have like a lining and an outer part made from 100% eco-certified linen. And this one is the gingham, and it's very close to the fabric my dress is made from. So yeah, you can see I love this. We also have other colors. So one of them is like a natural unbleached linen. So this is the natural beige. And then we have a beautiful, like, caramelly brown. This one. And they all have a lining, so this one is lined with a natural as well. So I'm so in love with these. For real, I want to kind of keep one of everything, every color, but I can't. It's not good, but they are so handy, I promise, and I just love them. They are very well made and so soft, and they just make me very happy. I'm so happy that I found them. They are also handmade in Lithuania, so European produced, and so beautiful in quality. So I'm so happy. Last but not least, I lied. Earlier I said that we're done with the products I made. That's not true. I made some more things, but we have the category now that I would call like stocking fillers. And there's some smaller things that you might want to get for like a knitting friend if you don't want to splurge a big amount of money. And one of the things that we'll have are these notepads. Let me just remove this little thing up here so you can see better. These are little notepads with knitting accessories over here. I think they are just so cute. They are hand illustrated by a German illustrator, and she makes those, so I just love them. So yeah, just if you have a knitter's friend and you think there's someone who might want to take notes, I do it all the time. I have notebooks and notepads everywhere, so I thought this might be handy for others as well, and I think they make a great stocking filler. So that's that. And last but not least, over the past months, I have been making such markers, and y'all have been absolutely lovely about supporting me on this journey, and I'm so thankful for it. So yeah, I made a few for this market. Well, maybe some of them you might know already, but the questions after these were so many that I had to bring them back. So these are the gingerbread markers from the gingerbread kit that we had earlier in November, and I had initially planned to only have the markers with the sets, but I had a few made extra, and since so many of you were asking for them, I decided to pop a few into the shop for the Christmas market, so they are available as an individual product. So yeah, so far about that. The gingerbread markers. Next up we have this little pair with a sock with a knitted texture in a beige and these little bells. And yes, you can hear them jingling, but only if you like really move them hardcore, so they won't jingle all the time while you're knitting. And lastly, we have one more set that I think is just so cute and also fits my idea of having like a sock cast on the holidays. So these are 3 little gingham socks. I don't know if you can see them. It's quite hard to show them. But they have different shades of beige and brown, so they are quite neutral. It's a bit hard to show because they keep turning all of the time, but maybe now you can see. So these little gingham socks, they are so cute, aren't they? So yeah, they are kind of a gradient from beige to medium brown to a dark brown, and I really like them. So they're only a handful of each. So, but I wanted to finally make them available on their own because I know that a lot of you have been asking for them. But before this episode gets even longer, let me wrap up everything with a quick admin section. So those were all the products that we'll have in our little Yule market that I think are just so beautiful. I'm super happy with how everything turned out, and I hope you are too. But how is all of this going to work now? So we are going to update the shop on Friday the 13th at 8 p.m. CET as per usual. And that's when all of this, what I just showed to you, is going to be available. I'm going to be posting everything again in the info page so you can reference back all of the products, everything. And if there's a question, feel free to email me at hello@woollentwine.com. I'm also going to put the email down below. But once this is available, we are going to ship everything as soon as possible. And so if you're familiar with how shop updates go, usually with the launch, a lot of orders come in at first. And then I know there are some of you who like to check back later when the rush is over, which is totally fine. Just in this case, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to start packing on Saturday right away. Usually it's the case that the update is on Friday and then I start shipping or packing on Monday. So you have a bit more time to add to your order additional things, you know. But in this case, I have to ask you to let me know as soon as possible if you want to add to your order, or if there is something you know, you forgot to order and you want to place another one and have me combine the two. That's all possible. Just please make sure that you do that until Saturday around noon my time, so I can start packing your orders, because we want to have things out as quickly as possible, especially for my lovely overseas customers. So yeah, things will just start a bit earlier this time so we can get things out. Speaking of shipping, we are currently working with German Post and DHL, but we are now also working with UPS, especially for express deliveries, and they just have much better turnaround times at the moment than DHL has. So for overseas orders, we kind of now ship everything that is over 5 skeins of yarn, which is our smallest shipping unit. Everything that's above that, we're going to ship with UPS, and it says to be between 4 to 5 working days with the standard option, and then 1 or 2 working days with the express option. So yeah, I'm aiming to have all overseas orders out by Tuesday, so things can arrive in time. But yeah, please make sure that in case you want it to be even faster, then you can use the express shipping option. It's a bit more expensive, but not a whole lot, so I think it might be worth it. You know, your own decision, all of that, but I just wanted to offer an express option. The express option is also available for EU customers in case you wanted to speed up things, although I must say that UPS is already pretty quick with the standard option. So I'm going to ship the standard shipping, the insured one, also with UPS, so they are going to be faster. If you have questions about shipping, timings, turnarounds, pricings, feel free to email me or check our shipping page on my website. There, I updated the prices there, so you should be able to see also what it costs to have express shipping to your destination. And I also updated a little temporary update there because Canada Post is still on strike. And DHL now informed that they stopped shipping to Canada. So I'm now shipping everything to Canada with UPS as well. And probably due to the crisis and to the strike, the prices are a bit higher than usual. But yeah, they are also on my shipping page if you want to check them and if you're from Canada. So far, it seems as if UPS has no issues with shipping to Canada, so that should work. But I just wanted to update you on all of that. So that's all about shipping. I guess I have talked a lot about all of the things. If there is something I forgot or you're curious about or you need to know about the products that I just showed you, or yarn combinations, always email is the best way to contact me because especially in update weeks, it can be quite hard to keep up with all of the things like YouTube comments and Instagram comments and DMs and stuff. So I kind of have to try to keep things to email wherever I can. So that's definitely the way to reach me best and to get an answer before the shop goes live. But yeah, I am really looking forward to this new launch and this last launch of the year as well. Oh, I should also mention, we are going to keep the shop open for the holidays, but the last shipping day will be the 19th of December, and then we will not ship. Probably we are planning not to ship until January 2nd. If there are a lot of orders coming in over the holidays, we might change our minds and I might go to the studio to ship in between the holiday days. But in general, I think I would really like to slow down a bit. It was an intense couple of months and I kind of want to slow down properly during the holidays. And so, yeah, shipping will be the last day will be on the 19th of December and then back on January 2nd. So that's all the info I wanted to share with you. And if I forgot something, I'm going to put it to the info page. So that's definitely one thing to maybe check out if you want to. One last thing to mention is that as long as stock lasts, I have a little free gift for every one of you. So all orders will get a free gift as long as stock lasts. So hope that's going to make you happy and that we can celebrate the holidays together this way. But yeah, this is now the last info I wanted to give to you. And now I just wish you a peaceful and calm end of the year. Thank you so much for your support this year. And yeah, I'm so happy that you're here and that you're sharing this journey with me. And yeah, hope you're going to have a wonderful time with your loved ones. So I guess I'm going to say happy holidays for now and see you on Friday. Bye.